Now, one other thing I want to talk about is how owning a house versus a condo can actually be a lot closer in price than you think. Especially, I want to use Miami as an example here, guys, because one thing I hear all the time from people in the comments or just in real life, they say, oh, you know, the condo's too expensive. I'm going to move to a house. It's going to be much more affordable. Well, that's really not true, because when you look at similar price homes and condos, the expense gap is not nearly as much as you might think. Like, here's a perfect example. I'm going to show you guys two different listings in Miami Beach, where I live, of a similar price home and condo for sale. Okay, here's a house in Normandy, Isle, listed for $1.2 million, and the estimated monthly payment is about $8,000 a month when you factor in property taxes, insurance, and principal and interest. But I'd be willing to bet that the home insurance is quite a bit higher than what's being quoted here. But when we look at a similar price condo nearby for $1.25 million, you can see that the monthly payment is about $2,000 a month higher at about $10,000. And one of the main reasons for that is the high HOA fees. And that's one of the arguments of why owning a home is so much cheaper, is because of high HOA fees. But you got to remember this: when you own a condo, those HOA fees cover basically everything, guys. They cover your insurance, your utilities, your trash pickup, all the maintenance of the pool, the gym, any sort of landscaping that you might have, all of the maintenance of the building, okay, that you have to do on your own when you own a house. And so $2,000 a month, especially in Miami, isn't really that much money. And some years you might be able to get away with not spending that extra $2,000 a month on the maintenance of your house. But being in South Florida, the weather here wears down every single type of property because of the heat, because of the moisture, the rain, the humidity. It all makes it so that your property takes a beating. And then if you have one big windfall expense with your house, like say you need a new roof, especially like a new roof on this house, like a barrel tile roof, that's a pretty big house with a barrel tile roof. I'll bet you replacing the roof on that house probably costs 60 or 80K. That's 3 to 4 years of HOA fees right up front. And I'm not trying to tell people you should buy a condo or you should buy a house instead. It's really all personal preference and how you want to live and your lifestyle choices. But another thing is insurance costs, guys. I guarantee you that estimated $400 a month that we saw in that house is way underestimating the actual insurance cost of that house, which will close that monthly gap even further. Let's say the monthly gap is only $1,000 or $1,500 a month difference. Well, now when you factor in all of the yearly expenses you have on a house, because remember, Zillow just came out and said it costs you about an extra $18,000 or $20,000 a year, depending on the house, just for all the extra costs. That has nothing to do with your monthly payment. And in high cost of living areas like Miami, it's even higher than that. So even when the savings look significant, we're talking $2,000 a month difference between buying the house and buying the condo, your real world savings after all your maintenance costs and expenses on owning the house might be a lot smaller than you might think, and the house could actually end up costing you more depending on the levels of repairs and maintenance that you have to do. So just keep that in mind whether you're shopping for a house or a condo, and really understand the difference in cost. Obviously, the larger the cost gap is, the more enticing it is to buy a single family home. But the smaller the cost gap is, in reality, there might not be any cost gap at all, and owning the house could actually be more expensive. So just keep that in mind. Obviously, there's different lifestyle choices involved here, whether you want to have a yard, raise a family, don't want to deal with an HOA, all that stuff, I get it. I'm not going to jump into that. I just wanted to point out that how much it's going to cost you, and the difference might be non-existent or a lot less than you think. Personally, I live in a condo here, and there's a lot of things I hate about it. There's also a lot of things I like about it, especially in terms of lifestyle and my ability to leave for long periods of time like I do. But I've also looked into buying a house here in Miami, and 100% it is going to cost me more, a lot more actually, per month in order to buy a house here and leave the condo. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you don't want to wait for my next video to come out, check out this one on the screen right over here. and I'll see you in the next one.